I'm a hard-working man. I wear a steel hard hat.
Hi everyone, this is your mortgage planner Brad Yzermans with the latest Mortgage Coach Report. This is where I update and explain what's going on in the wacky world of mortgage finance. I'm also tracking several new laws in Congress that may impact your ability to more easily qualify for a purchase home loan or refinance your current mortgage. Stay tuned to the end of the video to see a brief list of topics I'll cover in upcoming reports. But before we go any further, I need to share something that is very close to my heart. Most of you don't know this, but I have a close friend who is very involved in orchestrating the government bailout program. He has personally asked me to share this important service announcement with as many people as possible to make sure that our country's top CEOs are taken care of. Let's watch and see what they have to say.
How would you like to make a difference in the life of one needy person? In the time it takes you to watch this ad, more than 1,000 individuals will have lost their livelihood. Like poor Wayne here. Wayne is only 57 years old. His company was wiped out by a typhoon of defaulted subprime mortgages he approved. Today, he can barely afford Napoleon brandy. And every day, he has to walk more than 50 feet to his waiting limo. And now, Wayne may have to give up weekends in Aruba and maybe even his expensive mistress. Unless you help. For only $3,700 a day, you can ensure that Wayne and CEOs just like him will still get the bonuses they already approved for themselves. That's less than the cost of 1,000 lattes. Without your help, they may have trouble posting bail on the fraud charges they'll almost certainly be facing. So pick up the phone and sponsor an executive today. The money you give won't just save a life. It'll save a lifestyle.
A message from the U.S. Department of the Treasury.
I had to share that video with you. Hey, what do you think about that pork-filled $787 billion stimulus plan the president just signed? I wonder if most people realize how much money that really is. I think it's time for the Cliff Clavin Stat of the Week.
Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got.
Do you know it's a little-known fact that it would take spending $1 million every day for 2,160 years, that's 2,160 years, to spend what we are spending on this stimulus plan? That might help people put $787 billion into perspective. Well, on to more encouraging news. The home buying season is quickly approaching, and with the reduced home prices and low interest rates, homeownership is, in most cases, now more affordable than actual renting. The reason for this video is to tell you about the best home purchase loan program available to you. It's called the USDA 502 Guaranteed Rural Development Government Loan Program. I like to call this the beef loan.
Where's the beef?
Well, here's some highlights as to why this 100% USDA loan is such a great loan program. Let's take a look. Okay, for starters, there is no down payment required. If possible, I strongly advise keeping your down payment money safe and earning interest in your own savings or investment account. There's no monthly mortgage insurance. This is obviously a huge advantage. No reserves or savings are required to be documented. Not limited to first-time home buyers. Unlike an FHA loan, debt from a non-borrowing spouse does not count against the borrower's debt-to-income ratio. There are no restrictions on seller concessions. This means the seller can pay all the closing costs for the buyer if negotiated properly. The loan-to-value is determined by the appraisal value, not the selling price like other loan programs. For example, on a purchase price of, let's say, $220,000, if it appraises for $230,000, the buyer can use the difference, the $10,000, to pay for its closing costs. It has flexible credit and qualifying criteria. We call this common sense underwriting. Single-family residents and condos, townhomes are eligible. The loan program is a 30-year fixed. And interest rates are very comparable to FHA, only the payments on a USDA loan are much lower due to no mortgage insurance. Sounds good, doesn't it? After hearing about this program, almost everyone asks me, Brad, so what's the catch? Catch number one is this. It does have geographic restrictions. Many people think that since this is a Department of Ag loan, they need to live on a farm community to qualify. Fortunately, the term rural is very misleading. For example, I live in a tract home in the French Valley area 6 miles from downtown Temecula, Murrieta, and my home is actually eligible for this loan. There are a lot of qualifying areas ranging from Bonsall, Wildemar, Menifee, French Valley, all the way up to the entire Big Bear area. In fact, there's too many areas for me to list in the time that we have here. If you live in another part of California or out of state and may be interested in this loan program, contact me and I'll send you a list of eligible areas that are near you. Okay, here's catch number two. There are income restrictions, meaning there's a cap on how much income you can actually make. Again, it's not what you think. A home of 1 to 4 people in the Riverside San Bernardino area can make up to $70,750. A home of 5 to 8 people can make up to $93,400. These are the newly updated income limits taking effect March 20th. So start your house hunting process now with your realtor and get your qualifying paperwork into your lender, that's me, for your pre-approval. If you would like a referral of a realtor to work with, I'd be happy to refer one out to you. If your income is slightly over these limits, don't worry. There are ways to adjust your income lower. If you are a current homeowner, I'm sure there are at least 2 to 3 people in your sphere of influence who want to buy a home, who can afford a mortgage payment, but just don't have the down payment saved up. Can you do them a favor and forward this video to them? And make sure you forward it to your family, friends, or coworkers because I'm sure they know of people who may want to buy a home and could utilize this program. Okay, let's take a look at a few topics that I'll be covering in future videos. We'll discuss how the recent $800 and some billion stimulus plan and new laws will aid home buyers and current homeowners who are upside down. We'll also discuss updates and details on the revised FHA seller-funded down payment assistance legislation that will allow sellers to pay borrowers down payment. Also discuss the best loan program to use when purchasing a bank-owned home that's in need of repair. There's a new renovation loan program out that allows you to borrow money to purchase and renovate your home, put down a minimum 3% and no monthly mortgage insurance. This is really exciting. And we'll also explain why buying down your interest rate is 5 times more effective than negotiating a lower sales price. If you want me to address a specific mortgage or real estate question on a future video, send me a comment over here to my left. If you want to learn more about getting approved for a USDA home mortgage program, or want to find out if there's any benefit to refinancing with interest rates bouncing between 4.5% to 5.5%, send me a comment or just give me a quick call. That's all we have time for today. I'm your mortgage coach, Brad Yzermans. Wishing you a great week. I'm out of here.
By the sweat of my brow, from my 4-wheel drive to my cowboy boots, I owe it all to my blue-collar roots. Feel like I'm working overtime on a runaway train. I got to bust loose from this ball and chain.